Hello.
Beep and squeak.
Welcome to Funny News.
It's all in the sound of sundown. Tweet,
My name is Mr. Chris.
Chirp and squeak and beep. It's all in the sound of sundown.
In case you're wondering why I'm wearing this green,
Tweet and beep.
it's in the interest
Tweet,
of transparency.
It's all in the sound of sundown.
So, I'm tired of being the butt of people's jokes. I figured I'd write a few of my own. What did one butt cheek say to the other one? Say, haven't I seen you before? To which the other cheek replied, somewhere? Haven't I seen you somewhere? The other butt cheek replied, where? Under where? Wait. We interrupt this program. This test the emergency broadcasting system. Repeat, this is only test. If this were a real emergency, you'd all be dead. I'm just kidding. No, not really. Just kidding. Yeah, no, not really. This is really a test. Anyways. So, a recent study says that there's too many studies because too many psychological generalizations make people self-conscious hypochondriacs. Well, you know, I prefer philosophical truisms. Speaking of research studies, who keeps announcing these anyway? Where are they getting them from? Where are they getting these results? Sociological polls. If I did a sociological poll and research study, how about I'd find that anxiety is contagious, and that causes more hysteria, which actually makes people act outrageous. Yeah, don't mention it. Anyways, I don't know. Irony is cruel. What else can I say? So, let's just enlighten ourselves with a word for today. New study shows that people like to masticate together. That's right. Everyone has the right to masticate. In order to survive, we all have to masticate. Mastication is on the rise. Would you like to masticate with me? Oh, yeah. Feels so good to masticate. M-A-S-T-I-C-A-T-E. Look it up if you don't believe me. Everybody does it, and everyone has to do it in order to survive. So won't you masticate with me? Doesn't that feel good? No, it feels too good. No. Good thing. Means to consume. That's a fact. Enlighten yourselves or die. How do I escape the grip of corporate fascism? Yeah, I'm not getting paid for this, folks, but I could say where I'm getting this from, but no, I'm not going to promote any other brands if they're not going to pay me. So I'm doing all this for free. Anyway, must be doing this for fun. At least on the right side, I can't be fired for it. No, this is not fake news, people. This is just silly news. A lot of it is based on fact. Actually, even the strangest truths are based on fact. So another fact is that new cars show the study at Telecommunications Broadcasting College. They just told me to talk about the facts and be objective. So what's with all these reality talk shows and opinionated funny versions of the news anyways? I may be weird and passive-aggressive sometimes, but at least I'm not rude or abusive or cruel. Yeah, I'm actually quite polite. You push me to my breaking point, but everyone has their breaking points. But that's besides the point. I don't want to get off on this tangent. They say opinions are like buttholes and everyone has one. So, moving on. Well, I guess. So if you want to, call me or something, that's what telemarketers are for. Speaking of which, how do I know who's real and who's not? Who's watching this? Well, y'all could be watching each other. Everyone's watching each other some way or another. Yeah, that's right. So what else? What else is new in the world today? Well, everything's automated and animated and actually artificially created, so you never know. Can we keep our originality of thinking? I know, it's going to be off on this tangent. That's right, I'm supposed to remain objective, aren't I? The contradiction is, yeah, you're afraid of this. Hold on. That's what. So, I hate texting. If I had to, if I wanted to write someone something, I'd write them a letter. Suppose I have to communicate with you. Yeah. Did you know that the headlights stay on automatically during daylight in new cars? Why does the industry do this? I mean, you may ask. Well, they say statistically that it decreases accidents by 5%. Who does this research? If you can't see a car coming at you in broad daylight, then you're either not paying enough attention, the natural sun is too bright, or you're being blinded by the stupid headlights themselves. Anyways, the more we expect technology to do things for us, the more we lose our independence. Mark my words, I'm not going to let artificial intelligence take over my life. I'm not against technology if it's a useful tool, but I am not willingly giving up my rights. I will not become its tool. And I'm certainly not just going to hand over my rights as a human being and my personal freedoms to a robot that doesn't even have the same organic needs. So, I used to say, don't panic, it's organic. How can we expect to know how we feel when it doesn't even know how to pee or drink or eat or breathe? And now, for the weather. It's sunny, anywhere, unless there's clouds in the way, in which case, that changes. We can't always predict the weather, but there's sunny in California most of the time. The northern poles are still cold. It's cold in Antarctica and below freezing in Alaska, as well as parts of Russia and the tundra. That's mostly unexplored. And if you want to know what the weather is like really outside where you live, then just take a look outside! I'm just kidding. We may be able to track the weather sometimes with satellites, but we generally cannot predict the weather anyway, so what's the point? I could always change, and if scientists change their mind, well, what they say, we're overdue for they say we're overdue for another ice age. So wouldn't global warming counteract that process? This planet suffered enough cataclysmic events, and we're rebuilt civilization before. In the world of politics, so by the way, I hate it when one party blames the other and all they do is insult each other instead of coming up with more responsible ways to try to fix the real issues we face in America. Yes, that's no joke. And why? They call themselves parties anyway. It's not some sort of fun party I'd want to be involved in. Maybe that's to distract us from the real issues of their petty insults and repetitive arguments. Anyways, blaming each other. Nobody ever wins in the blame game. You just have to look at things objectively sometimes. All right, well, I'm almost out of time. I digress. So I'll leave you with this thought from a friend of mine when I was in high school. Recently, I've come to the frightening conclusion that the only thing that can save humanity from itself is extraterrestrial intervention. Oh, yeah, you may think that's funny. Remember, this isn't fake news. This is funny news. But once again, try to have a good night. This is Mr. Chris. I guess I kind of agree with that. There are more UFO and underwater submergible object sightings today, but in the interest of national insecurity, I'm not allowed to talk about it. And once again, thank you for joining us, friends. This has been Funny News with Mr. Chris, signing off. Have a good night.